Hello, everyone, and welcome to Schwab Coaching. My name is Cameron May. I'm a senior manager here at Schwab, and this is Getting Started with Thinkorswim. And there are actually some brand new things starting with Thinkorswim. Our development team just released a whole slew of new features and tools on the platform. So we're going to be going through 8 new tools and features on Thinkorswim desktop. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope everybody else is too. You're going to be the first ones to see this, so we're going to get ahead of that learning curve. So thanks for joining me today. And I do want to say hello to everybody that's chatting in out there in YouTube. Great to see Akbar, John, Speak Truth, Ricebird, Bob, Joe, Trey, everybody else, Eva. Great to see everybody. Thanks for being here week after week. We always do appreciate your attendance and your contributions to these discussions. If you are here for the very first time, I want to welcome you as well. And if you're watching on the YouTube archive after the fact, enjoy the presentation, but be aware that you're invited to join us in a live discussion. This kicks off promptly 3 o'clock Eastern time on Mondays. We'd love to have you here. This one typically runs just about 20 minutes, so it's a quick one. But I also want to give everybody the heads up. If you're here in the live audience, we have Kevin Horner hanging out in the chats. Kevin's going to be answering any questions that I can't get to just during the flow of the presentation. Kevin will be addressing those that are at least on topic. So thanks for having my back there, Kevin. And Kevin and I would like to also issue an invitation to anyone, whether you're watching live or on the archive. Do us all a favor. Best place to connect with your favorite presenters in between these webcasts is on X. So follow Kevin and me on X. You can find Kevin there at Kevin Horner CS. You can find me there at Cameron May CS. All right. So as we get into the navigation of Thinkorswim new tools on the desktop, we do have to pause, first of all, to consider the risks associated with trading or investing. They are real, so bear this in mind. The information here is for general informational purposes only and should not be considered an individualized recommendation or endorsement of any particular security, chart pattern, or investment strategy. Schwab does not recommend the use of technical analysis as the sole means of investment research, and of course, investing involves risks, including the loss of principal. So, with that said, very basic agenda today. We're going to go have a look at the new tools and features on Thinkorswim. We're going to be going through 8 of them. Some are still just on the live platform. Just so you know, the first 4 tools we're going to be going through just on live. And then we'll talk about how we can make ourselves aware, keep ourselves up to speed on these sorts of new releases. Thinkorswim actually lets everybody know they have a specific area of the website reserved for these new releases. So not the website, but the Thinkorswim desktop platform. So let's go right to the platform. And the first thing that I want to talk about today is for those of us who like to open lots of windows because we have multiple monitors going on, or maybe just lots of Thinkorswim windows on a single monitor. So maybe we've popped open a chart, maybe we popped open a watch list, we have the basic platform going there, and they can kind of layer over one another. And sometimes you just want to close it all down and restart. Well, there is a new feature known as the Detached Window Manager. Okay, so this one we're going to need to activate. So but before we do that, let's open up a few things here. Okay, let's come up here. Yeah, hot off the press, exactly right, Speak Truth. This is new stuff just released this weekend. So this is Monday. For those that are watching on the archive, this live streaming again is on Mondays. So first thing I'll do, let's go to our charts. And maybe a trader has detached their chart. And detaching on Thinkorswim means that we're simply opening up the tool in a separate pop-up window that we can then reposition, maybe slide it over to a side monitor, maybe display 2 windows side by side on a single screen, whatever. But let's just detach the chart. So now we have this separate operating chart. And also, maybe we go over here to the left column and we have a watch list here, just an example watch list. Let me click on the little menu icon and let's detach that gadget. So it has its own little functioning window. Okay. If you didn't know you could do that, you can do that. So we can see all 3 down here, but they can tend to sort of layer one on top of one another if we don't have them resized and repositioned. And let's suppose we just want to minimize all those. Well, one new feature on Thinkorswim up here in the upper right, under the application settings, we can go to the display field and you're going to see a new checkbox, Display Window Manager. Okay, so it's literally the management tool for these multiple windows that we have displayed. So you can check the box and apply that as your new setting. And once we do that, for our PC users, down here in the lower right, you're going to see the Thinkorswim icon with that TOS window manager. Now, this icon is going to be up in the upper right for those that are using a Mac. I'm not using a Mac, so I can't demonstrate that. But under this feature now, we can right-click on that, and you'll see that there are now 3 different features. So let's do this. Let's open up those windows. So there's that one. There's that one. We can right-click here and choose minimize. Oh, there's a right-click. Let's do this again. It's a right-click on the icon, but a left-click on minimize all. And you'll see there went all of our windows. So we don't have to sort of click through all the different windows to minimize. And then we're going to want to come back here and select restore all, pardon me, with this new feature. Even I'm still a little bit clunky with it. I've literally only seen it for the last few hours, but let's select restore all, and there they all again. So we only have to activate that feature once, and then it's good to go. All right, so that's that on the menu. I'm going to close those out, okay? And let's say that I have been analyzing a stock. Maybe I'm on the, who knows, scan tab. A new feature down here that you may have noted is if we right-click, we can open an order ticket. So anywhere we are on the platform, you can just go down there, right-click on that icon, and it will now pop up that order ticket. And then we can just start to fill this in. The first thing we do is enter the symbol, and then the rest of the order ticket is going to look just like it does elsewhere on the platform. Trey says, it looks like that feature is only available on the live account, not paper money. Exactly right, Trey. As I mentioned at the outset of this discussion, the first 4 things that I'm going to be demonstrating, and this new detached window manager tool is one of those 4. These functions are only available on the live version. I guess for now, time will tell if that gets added to paper money, but obviously a brand new rollout makes sense that it would go to live version first. There we go. I'm not going to fill out that order ticket, but that's another feature that can be found here under this management tool. Now, finally, we have the ability. Sometimes, you want to get up, walk away from your computer. You don't want to leave your Thinkorswim up and running, at least, so somebody can't just walk past or walk across your keyboard, do something that you didn't intend. So we can now lock the application temporarily. So, or at least that can be done very quickly through this management tool. So if we choose lock application, we get this screen. Doesn't mean that we've lost the ability to navigate the rest of our computer. No, I could still go to, let's say, my my other applications that are running, but Thinkorswim is temporarily locked. The nice thing about that is I don't have to relaunch and log back into Thinkorswim. I can just unlock it using my password. Okay, so let's unlock that, and we're back in. So that's sort of 3 features in one. I wanted to demonstrate that. Okay, so that's nifty new feature number 1. Let's go on to feature number 2, and the rest of these are probably going to be a little bit quicker to navigate. But on the monitor tab, in the last release, there was a function introduced that creates what we call sticky headers. So what is a sticky header? That's kind of a weird sounding name. What that means is if we have, let's say we're on the monitor tab and we're down here in our position statement, and we've opened up all of our existing positions, well, those tend to slide off the screen down at the bottom. So if we scroll down and we're looking at the bottom items on the page, you'll notice the headers here stay static at the top. They don't disappear as we scroll down. Do you see that? Yeah, that's known as a sticky header. Now, if you don't want that, you can actually disable that using this little anchor up here. I click on that and I scroll down through, the headers just disappear. But a new feature that was just introduced is that the sticky headers, which have been available for the position statement, are now available for today's trade activity as well. May not be as commonly used for some, but that is now available. Now, the reason why it's not as commonly used is if we don't have a lot of working orders, we don't have a lot of filled orders today. Like, for example, I only have one filled order today. There's not really a reason to need sticky headers, right? However, if we have a bunch, we now have that same feature up there as well. Now, a new function for both of those areas, though, is the scroll to top function. So if we were down here, I'll use this one as the example because we do have a lot going on down here. I'm going to scroll to the bottom. Now, of course, we can just scroll up and down here. Or another thing that we can do is as soon as we move toward the bottom of the page, you'll see this icon here activated. This is a scroll to top icon. So if I scroll to the bottom, I can just click on that. It goes right back up to the top. Pretty easy. All right. So there's that. Let's see. We also have, and okay, so bear in mind, those are three tools. We have the detached window manager, we have the sticky headers, and the scroll to top function. Just on live for now. This next tool also just for live. The rest are on live and paper. But if we go to charts, here's a new tool, and this is we can see our options positions on charts. Now, it's been the case that we've been able to see, well, as a previous release, been able to see positions on stocks. But if we enable it, let's come here to our little chart settings icon. It's the gear icon at the top. And we stay on the general tab. It's the first or the default tab. Right here where it says positions, that's probably going to be defaulted to do not show. But if we change that, we can actually show this. We can show positions for underlying only, which means the stocks on which one is trading options, or just the stock, a stock if we're trading stocks. We can choose just for options only, or let's just choose show all, click apply, click OK. So now if I go to my monitor tab, you can see I have a stock position on Apple. So if I bring up a chart of Apple, there's that stock position right there, 10 shares at 226.05. That was the purchase price. Or you can see, let me actually use these little, I don't know what we call these, pizza slices or whatever, this little down icon. We do have a call position on UNH. We have it because I just added it to the account so I could demonstrate this. So let's go to our charts. Look at UNH, and there is that one contract plus one 580C, means we have a 580 strike call. And as I point at that, I get the details of that call. It's the 20th of December, 2024 call. At the 580 strike, we have one contract, and we can trade using this little icon. It's actually referred to as a pill, if you like to have those sorts of details. Right-click on that. We can create a closing order and sell that call if we like. I'm not going to in this case, but I just wanted to show that that's one of those new functionalities. Okay, so a few others that I wanted to show you that are available on both versions of the platform. We'll just close up this left column for just a moment, just so that we can get a clearer view of this one. Have you ever been looking at a study and maybe you have the 3 or 4 or 5 studies applied to a chart and you think, you know what, let me just take the one off for now. Wish I could hide it. Yep, you can hide studies now. Just right-click on them. Right-click, hide that study. Now you can also, with the right-click, edit or remove the study altogether, but I'm just going to hide this moving average. So we have an exponential moving average, and it is now hidden. And if I want to throw it back on the chart, I can just go back up to the flask, click on the little gear icon, and show that study again. Okay, there we go. So a little hide feature just for individual studies or technical tools. That is available on Paper Money if you're following along at home on your Paper Money. Now, another one that's been requested is up in the upper left-hand corner. We have this account information. We have our buying power, we have our net lick or the total value of the portfolio, cash and sweep, basically the cash available in the account. But there's always been a menu of other things that we could add as columns there. Well, there are 4 new items in that menu, and that is profit and loss stuff. profit and loss for the day, profit and loss since we opened the position, profit and loss percentage, and profit and loss for the year. So for example, if I choose PL Open, add that, let's click on that and move that up to, how about we just put it right up above our net liquidating value, in other words, the total account value. Let's click OK, and now we have PL Open, and I have to, bear with me, there's a function up here at the top. I can't quite, oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm going to have to, oh, I know what this is. So this is, it's not going to work for this demonstration account. It's a bit of a quirk with the demonstration account, but that's how that could be added for, your own paper money account or for a live account. So new feature there, you can add PL Open, PL Day, and as you saw, percentage and year to date, or for the year. All right, so nifty new tool number 5. Now, or that was number 6, actually. Number 7, another request, is for some of our fundamental investors and traders. They like to have on their watch list fundamental metrics. Now, EBITDA has not been available as one of those customizable columns until this weekend. So EBITDA, if you're not familiar with it, EBITDA, earnings before income, or before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. We can click on this right here, customize this column, the set of columns, and just start typing in EBITDA there. We can choose that from the menu, add that, click OK. And now as we expand out our columns, we can resize as needed, but what we'll see is that EBITDA number shown in absolute dollar value right there. So for our fundamental traders and investors, that's probably a nifty new feature. I'm going to customize that, take it back off. Let's remove that, click OK. Now we're just back to our example symbol, market cap, and last, which is the way that I typically demonstrate things as a baseline in my webcast series. And finally, this one I can't perfectly demonstrate because it's for a specific function that requires some historical activity that hasn't been done in this example account. But for those who use alerts, sometimes you want to check, hey, I wonder which alerts filled yesterday, or which alerts were triggered yesterday, or over the last week, or over the last month. So checking historical alerts is now a function on Thinkorswim. So if you go to your Market Watch tab and go to alerts, right down here, you can see my effort. This is your presenter's grand effort to try to get ready for this webcast. I was doing it today, though, so it's still today's activity. The historical information, though, would be available right here through a menu that would be activated if there were any historical alerts in this demonstration account, which is a different one that I just don't use very often. Anyway, yeah, right here you could select a menu that would allow us to look back over last day, the last week, the last month. So there we go. Guys, we have accomplished what I set out to do today. Thinkorswim just had this new release of new functions, new tools, new features on the platform. So I wanted to walk us through those, but I also didn't want to leave you wondering, well, how come I had to wait for you to do a webcast, Cameron? Why doesn't Thinkorswim just tell me about these things? Well, they do. Right here on the Education tab, you can go to the Learning Center anytime we want to. Let's go to the home page of the Learning Center. And we can check the release notes. Or let me just close this left column. You'll see it's easier to see the release notes that way. Anyway, yeah, there's a release notes page that's maintained by our engineering crew. And when new functions and new features are released, they tell us about it. There it is, release notes for August 24th. That was over the weekend. It's now August 26th, so I'm making this recording. And as I scroll down through this, if I click on those release notes, we can see there are all the things that we've talked about. Detached window manager, scroll to the top, and so on. And they have a good illustration of how each of these functions work. Okay. So Kevin says, if you have time, could you show the options order again, please? Yep. So Kevin, to set that up, we just go here to on our charts, go to the chart settings, and just make sure on the general tab under positions that we've either selected show for options only or show all. Show for options only will show the options positions, and it is for positions, not orders, by the way. Orders are up here. Okay. This is for positions within the portfolio. So this will show your options positions, and this would also show options positions as well as stock positions. Okay, guys, that's it. We've done it. We had 8 things to review, and I wanted to show you how to keep tabs on those in the future. And yeah, when there's another release in the future, I'll take us through all of those again. But time for me to let you go. So go enjoy the rest of the educational offerings that we have in our webcast through the rest of the day. I will see you in a future webcast, but I do have some additional suggestions for you. Actually, they're recommendations that you do these. Number one is that if you're not following Kevin and me on X, please do that. You can follow Kevin on X at Kevin Horner CS. You can find me on X, at Cameron May CS, but this is the best place to connect with your favorite presenters in between the live streams. And also make sure that you've subscribed to our Trader Talks channel. So you can do that. Just go down to the subscribe button down below the display window right now, or down in the lower right-hand corner. Click on subscribe. Following on X and subscribing on YouTube doesn't cost anything, but it just gives you access to even more great education. And YouTube is just the best place to find our previously delivered webcasts organized into playlists. Those are organized by series and by topic. You know, they have a theme for each of those playlists. So you can do a very targeted examination of webcasts that are just important to you, that are interesting to you. All right. Everybody, thank you for giving me your time today. I will look for you in a future webcast. Thank you to how many people have already clicked the like button? 36 people have already clicked the like button. That's always appreciated. If you're live or if you're watching the archive, if you do me the favor of clicking on the like button, if you enjoy these webcasts, make a habit of clicking on that like button every single time you enjoy a webcast. It helps the presenter, and it helps that webcast find a wider audience. Just helps with the YouTube algorithm. So it's always appreciated. But thanks, everybody. I don't believe, let me just double click the chat. No survey. Yep. No survey. So we're not doing that on this webcast, but always look for those as well. But I'll look for you in a future webcast. I'll also look for you on X. But whenever I see you again, until that moment arrives, I want to wish you the very best of luck. Happy trading. Bye-bye.